And hello, everybody, and welcome to my weekly Money Yummy webinar, or Yummy Money webinar. I'm a little bit dyslexic. I can't remember which it is. Either way, money is yummy. We have our special guest with us today, the lovely Sylvia Hagen. How are you, Sylvia?
I'm awesome. Good evening. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being with me on this exploration, this adventure of the energy of money and getting rid of our blocks and limitations around money. I think the more people participate, the more we'll be able to, change the world. Because if you can change the dynamics around what has to do with our abundance and our prosperity and our wealth, then you literally can change the world. I know you agree with me on that one.
Oh, yes.
Great. So look, first I always like to start with gratitude. So let us begin with gratitude. I am truly grateful for this day. I'm going to give 5 things. Please, everybody around the world, think of 5 things that you're truly grateful for. I'm going to name them. I'm grateful for the leaves that I raked today. It was a lot of work, but it was wonderful exercise for me, and it was a great connection with planet Earth. I am grateful for the delicious lunch I had today. I had leftovers, and I'm grateful for my leftovers and all the food that nurtures my body. I am grateful for my internet connection once again, that I can sit in my living room and talk to people all around the world, and even have Sylvia on my show, who's across the city, but she's in the same city, but we can share this together without her having to get in her car. And I am grateful for the gifts that I've been able to buy for my friends and family. And I am grateful for my new business with Wucar Dubli. I'm truly grateful for what I feel to be is going to be a very promising future. So there you have it. There's my 5. So if you'd like, you want to pop off your 5 to share with everybody?
Oh, absolutely. I'm definitely grateful for all the terrific people in my life, the wonderful people that I have attracted into my life. I feel so blessed, and you are one of them, Karen. How did I get so lucky? Wonderful, supportive family I have. I'm truly grateful for my body, that I'm going to be 54 years old, and I'm still hop skipping and jumping around and work with kids every day, so I'm really grateful for that. Grateful for the access tools. How did I get so lucky to find them 2 years ago?
Oh, yeah.
It's time to find them, yeah. And for nutrition as well. We have food on the table every day. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful that I have transportation to get around and do all the terrific things that I love to do. And I could go on and on. I think that was 5.
I think I agree. I mean, literally, if you think about all the things that your life has, I like to think of it as, we have our priorities, and you can see what your priorities are by what is going on in your life, what is prevalent, what do you see around you. That is what is your priority. And a lot of times when you start to do the great gratitude exercise, the gratitude exercise just starts to get you to recognize what you do have. Because we live on a planet where we're constantly invoked to look at everything that's wrong, look at everything that's not working, instead of looking at what is working. Because you take what is working, more than likely you take it for granted. So what we want to do is we want to acknowledge what we have, because then the universe is like, oh, so you're grateful for what you have. You're the universe or God or whatever you power that is for you. That I like to say that the universe has big ears, and they're listening to what you're saying. So you have to start to listen to what you're saying, what's going on in your head, what's going on in what's coming out of your mouth, so that you can acknowledge that, wow, what I just said is limiting my universe, or what I just said is really, really pretty cool and expanding my universe. Now, in the first chapter of this book, Money Isn't the Problem, You Are, which is an Access Consciousness book, as I mentioned in my first webinar, I've been, let's say, a student of Access for about 12, almost 13 years. And in this journey, I've learned so many tools and techniques that have been outrageously helpful. And I would say that after the first year of doing Access, I quadrupled my income. And then, of course, I've had, I've had a couple of ups and downs, but mostly I've been pretty consistent in expanding my awareness of wealth, I'd like to, yeah, let's say that feeling of being rich. And it hasn't always appeared in money, even though that's where I would like for it to appear more of, and that's why I'm here today, and that's why we're here today, to get rid of a lot of our points of view that could be blocking us around money and how we see it and how we what we believe about it, because it is your point of view, which is, by the way, my website, my entrepreneur website is called Point of You, Y-O-U, Point of Me, which of course is a play on words. Which of course I got the point of view from Access, because we talk a lot about, well, what's your point of view about it? Basically, what do you believe about it? What have you decided about it? What have you bought? Because we pick up a lot of our ideas from mostly our parents, right, Sylvia? We start out, and I think up until the age of about 2, we've picked up pretty much a lot of all of our parents' stuff around sex, around money, around relationships. Yes, it's true. And though you may not want to admit it, you have picked up a lot of your core points of view in that time frame. Okay, so how do you change that? Well, we're going to do the magic phrase again, and it's called the clearing statement, and you can go to theclearingstatement.com to get an explanation of it. I'm going to say it really quickly because it always is said quickly: right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Whoop! And that's the magic wand, magical phrase, right? So everything that you bought from your mother and your father about money, about what it means to have money, what it means not to have money, what it means to have lots of money, and what it means to have just a little money, what it means to be rich, and what it means to be poor, what it means to be middle class, and everything that is, and all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations that you've made about money from your parents by the age of 2, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it all? Tons of godzillion. Is that a yes?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And that has a lovely charge to it, and that means that many of us are still holding on to what our parents say. Now, yeah, the thing is that we love our parents, right? And we don't want to disrespect our parents. So there are a lot of things that we've bought from our parents and that we hold on to. God forbid we should, go against the grain of our heritage and everything that is. Would you be willing to destroy and create it all?
Yes.
There's a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. But because it's your foundation. So you immediately think, well, I'm not going to betray my foundation, because if I betray my foundation, then who am I? And in fact, that is my question: who are you? And who's driving the car of your life? Is it your mother? Is it your father? Or perhaps it is a relative that raised you. Whoever it is, would you please tell them to get out of your car and get back into the driver's seat and drive your own vehicle, drive your life. And everything that doesn't allow that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
Times a godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all 9, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So, you say, well, why should we destroy and uncreate it? I know what a lot of you are saying, well, I don't understand, why would you choose that kind of a phrase? Well, because we are such thinking creatures, and because energy is constantly expanding and contracting, what we have a tendency to do is to hold on to a lot of stuff. And just with the idea of saying, well, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate it? Just destroy it, uncreate it. Go back to when you first created it, and that's what that clearing statement does. It goes back to when you first created the idea, and it gets rid of it, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you have this forest of points of view, of judgments, of limitations, and And because it's so thick and dense, the light never comes through. You never really get to feel light and airy because you have I mean, literally a multitude of judgments and attitudes and limitations that prevent you from being greater, being more, being truly the greatness that you truly are. And what happens when we do the clearing statement and you let go of a point of view that no longer serves you, one of these trees, basically we're going to the seed, right before that tree was created, disappears. Okay? And that means that the light comes in and that tree actually may be connected to another tree, and that tree disappears. So you have like this chain reaction of attitude of limitations or judgments that completely disappear, and you can step into being something greater and more. I don't know, Sylvia, you've done Access for a couple of years now. You've been using a lot of the tools and asking a lot of the questions because Access is based around questions. Have you felt lighter since you've been doing it?
Oh, that's so beautiful. I was just going to say that, you know, when you say the clearing of the emergent trees, when that heaviness disappears, the light comes in. It's not just a lighter seeing of lightness, it's a feeling of lightness. You become lighter, yes. It's like feather light, the feather touch of lightness. And I felt that more and more. Thank goodness, yes.
I know. And it's you think it's just like, well, it's too easy. And that's another thing that we when it comes to money, we think that it's supposed to be hard, that it's supposed to be difficult. I don't know. I'm sure that all of you have had moments when all of a sudden money just showed up out of friggin' nowhere, and all of a sudden you have this large amount of money, and you're like, how did that happen? Well, the question should be, thank God it happened, and what's it going to take for more of this to show up?
More of this to show up.
Right? That's the question you ask, because otherwise sometimes we'll stop the energy like, oh my God, I can't believe that happened. Well, believe it. Don't say I can't believe it. Go into immediately, wow, how great is this? What's it going to take for more of this to show up? Because miracle money can show up. It's shown up for all of us at many times in our lifetimes, and we forget that it can show up that way. Like Sylvia was just showing me the Access workbook. Do you have the cover that you could show people that?
Yeah.
That book?
See if we can see it here.
There it is. There's
a little bit of a glare on it, but
Access Consciousness. How to be money? Is that what it says? Could you read it?
How to Become Money workbook.
How to become money.
Gary does it.
Maybe we'll do that for our next book. That's a great book. It has awesome exercises in to start to get you to release a lot of your points of view around money and everywhere that it's limiting you. So anyway,
it's another one that Karen. I read it once, and then I kept hearing, read it again, read it again, read it again, and now I'm at my fourth time of reading it, and even the lightness and the things that are starting to happen just from reading the book again is it's just magic, and it's really magical.
Yes, and magic is really something that I continue to aspire and to actually to be it more and more. And that book and Access in general does it just veers you towards that path, and the only person that takes you off that path is yourself. And I have veered from the path on and off because it's like trying to quit smoking. You get into the habit of being in the matrix, and you forget that there's a whole other world on this matrix if you were willing to step outside of your box. And people, get out of your box. It really is. There's so much more to it when you take that step.
I use a lot of Access tools every day. I have my, the questions that I ask throughout the day. But this book is really what keeps me in the expansiveness and the molecules and the magic. It reminds me.
Yes. So
I just would recommend everyone get it, and it gets you into this expansive state, especially when you've made things. When you form things into like a stuck place into matter, get into the book and just read 3 or 4 pages of it, and you're that expansiveness, those molecules again. It's a beautiful thing. That's where you want to be that allows you to create.
Yes, yes, and everywhere where you're feeling stuck around money, all of your decisions, judgments, conclusions, attitudes, and beliefs about money right now, where you're feeling stuck, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate that, no matter what it looks like, and everything?
Oh yes.
Times a godzillion, destroy and uncreate it all, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys and beyonds. I love my magic phrase. It just seems to just lighten things. And the beauty about it is, I asked you the question. It doesn't mean that you have to search for the answer, because we live in we grew up in a school system where you're supposed to always have the answer. Give me the answer. Give me the answer. But the thing is, what if there are just like so many possibilities to your question? And the universe is doing everything in its power to bring you as many possibilities as you're willing to receive, so that you can choose, so that you have infinite choice to choose which one best suits you. Okay, because my choice might not be the choice that Sylvia would choose, might not be the choice my mother would choose, but it's a perfect choice for me. So you have to be willing to recognize when something is light and for you, and you have to let it work for you. Don't contract it. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody else is choosing something else. Who cares about what everybody else is doing? Do what makes you feel. I like the expression, when every cell in your body is turned on. Like you just feel alive. Everything comes on. It's like the light switch goes on, right? So look, I wanted to jump into this second chapter. I read the first chapter last week. You can get these books. Money Isn't the Problem, You Are, and the one that Sylvia just mentioned, How to Become Money. You can get these at accessconsciousness.com. That's access, A-C-C-E-S-S, consciousness, C-O-N-S-C-I-O-U-S-N-E-S-S.com. These are great books. Even if you never take a class, you can still work with yourself and self-development in working on yourself and becoming greater and more and clearer. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay. So here we have the second chapter is entitled. It looks like I'm stuck there. I'll be back. So money isn't the problem, you are. I also wanted to mention that if you have any questions, you can. If you would like to continue to work with me on this weekly webinar, you can also join my Facebook page for this webinar. And my computer is like being funny right now. So it is called my weekly Yummy Money webinar, and I will invite you to be on that. If you just send me, there I'm back. If you just send me a message on Facebook, yes, you can send me a message on Facebook at Point of View, Point of Me on Facebook, or you can go to my website and send me a message there too, pointy.com. You can send me your email and leave me a comment, and I'll invite you to the group, and we can keep you up to date. So the name of this chapter is, Do You Want Money? Huh? Of course I want money. Huh? Don't you want money? What kind of question is that? Right?
Yeah.
All right, okay, so the natural state of things here on planet Earth, contrary to anything you may have been told, is a state of abundance. If you look around when you are in nature, you'll see that humans are doing their best. Well, let's see that again. You'll see that when humans aren't doing their best to destroy things, there's no place where life is not thriving and abundant. And I'll attest to that for raking all of those leaves today. Oh my God, abundance galore. You know what I thought about? I thought that I was like raking money. I was like, wow, imagine if this were money, and I was like, all this money, and I'm going to take it to my bank account.
Little bushels of it. Oh, how awesome is that?
Yes. I felt like Richie Rich. I don't know if a lot of you know that cartoon, but I grew up with Richie Rich. So here we go. So there's no place that doesn't abound in plant, animal, bird, and insect life. Even in so-called barren landscapes, there's an unimaginable amount of life going on. If you stop using a road, even one paved over with asphalt, in a very short period of time, cracks will appear, weeds will start growing, and pretty soon the road will become completely overgrown and disappear. It's terrifically abundant It's a terrifically abundant universe, and it's only when the humans manage to bring in the concrete that we stop experiencing nature's abundance. Only where humans trod do barrenness or poverty exist. Poverty consciousness is what keeps us from perceiving and experiencing the ongoing natural state of abundance. Poverty consciousness is not a reflection of how things really are. It's a state of mind we create. It's the place we function from when we tell ourselves, I don't have enough. I never have enough. No matter what happens, I will never have enough. There are a million variations on the theme. I have just enough to survive. I don't need more than this amount of money to make it. So everywhere that is you, everywhere that you have said, I don't have enough, I never have enough, no matter what happens, I will never have enough, or I just have enough to survive, I don't need more than this amount of money to make it, all the decisions, judgments, conclusions, and computations that you've made about that, would you be willing to destroy and uncreate all of that? And let's create having an outrageous amount of money. Okay?
Yes.
Anything that doesn't allow that to show up times a Godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it all. Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. It's the point of view that lack is more real than abundance. It's the idea that it's more noble to be poverty-stricken than to be wealthy. I don't know if you have been told that. You know, a lot of people growing up, they're poor, and they tell their children, oh, those rich people, they don't know anything about happiness. They're not really happy. They infuse in their children the idea that being poor is better than having money. It's to make them feel better about not having money. So everywhere any of you have experienced that, this superiority in your inferiority, or your inferiority in your superiority, and whatever that is, will you destroy and uncreate it, please?
Yes.
Times a Godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay, so I'm going to continue. Some people actually think it's morally superior to be poor. There you have it. They have the pride of poverty. Dane tells how people in his family used to say, at least we have a great family and we're happy. Those people with money aren't happy. He says he'd look around and say to himself, they couldn't be any more unhappy than you. I don't think so. Right, so everything that brings up in your universe, all the judgments that come up around that, because it's your judgments that contract your universe, your judgments about being poor, your judgments about being rich, your judgments about poor people, everything that is times a Godzillion, everywhere that you're doing everything to not show that you're superior by relating to poor people, therefore never making more than a certain amount, because you have to be able to relate to everyone. If you had too much money, then you couldn't relate. And everything that is times a Godzillion would destroy and uncreate it, please.
Yes.
Godzillion, right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Often people with poverty consciousness can take pride in being poverty-stricken, or they believe they can only be comfortable with people who are at their socioeconomic level. They will only be comfortable around people as poor as they are. I wouldn't be comfortable with rich people because rich people are different, you know? Well, okay. Look at the category you've just put yourself into. Okay, so I just cleared that. So basically, you're putting yourself into a box every time you do that. Watch your thoughts, people. Poverty consciousness is not a state of mind that only poor people have. Rich people can have it as well. I went to a billionaire's party recently, and it seemed like everyone was trying to be the best at degrading their gardeners and their help. This is what they thought being rich meant. Degrading the help. Oh, it's so hard to get good help. No, it isn't. It's easy to get good help if you treat people well. Even though they have lots of money, there is an unwillingness to receive the greatness of anyone. They think they have no control. Their employees, they think they have no control of their employees and pay them as little as possible. Poverty consciousness is not about the amount of money you have. It's about the way you treat yourself and others and the abundance you're willing to see in the world. The word want, you were going to say something, sweetie?
No, I just said wow.
Yeah. The word want is a key component of poverty consciousness. Do you know what the word want means? It means to lack. Every time you say I want, you're saying I lack. If you say I want more money, you'll start to lack more and more all the time. If you start paying attention to what you think or what you say, you'll see exactly how you're creating the abundance or the lack of it. that's showing up in your life. Look up want in the dictionary. I know a lot of people are going to say, what are you talking about? Want, we use want all the time. Exactly. So look up want in the dictionary. You might find it, you might have to find it in an older dictionary. Dictionaries that were made prior to 1946 have correct definitions of the words of the English language. After 1946, they started to change definitions to reflect the colloquial usage. If you look at the word want in the dictionary published prior to 1946, you'll see there are several definitions of want, meaning to lack, and only one that means to desire. To desire is to look for something to be available in the future. So even with that definition, you're still in trouble. Okay? So listen to people who are truly abundant. The word want isn't in their vocabulary. They don't know the word. They don't have the idea that want is a part of life. Everything is about having it, getting it, going for it, and allowing it. There's an old proverb that says, waste not, want not. Waste not, lack not. If you recognize that the word want means to lack and you listen to yourself, you'll see that you're using it all the time. Ask yourself, what would it take for the word want to fall out of my vocabulary? Instead of creating from I want money, allow yourself to create from I don't want money. Because every time you say I want more money, you're saying I lack of it. And that's exactly what shows up in your life. Try this. Say, I don't want money 10 times. I know this is weird, but let's do it. 10 times. Here we go. Ready? I don't want money. 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 Wow, that actually feels pretty good, strangely enough. So what happened? Did saying I don't want money make you feel lighter or heavier? How about you, Sylvia?
Lighter.
Me too. Lighter.
Definitely lighter. Yep.
So lighter refers to a sense of expansion and possibility and greater sense of space. You might have even smiled or laughed out loud. Heavier refers to a feeling of contraction, of things weighted down and less possibility. If you're like most people, saying I don't want money made you feel lighter, why is that? It's because the truth always makes you feel lighter. A lie makes you feel heavier. The truth of you is you don't lack of money. And saying so shows you're willing to bring it on. Bring it on. Money come, money come, money come, 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 money come, money come, money come, come, come. That's my money song, by the way. So you can create receiving in your life by saying that 10 times every morning. When people are around you say, I want money, you can smile knowingly and say, I don't want money. So that's that chapter. I don't want money. So funny that, huh? The word want. So be aware of how you use the word want, because there are sometimes when you use it that you're actually using it correctly. But it really, if you do look it up in an old dictionary, like an etymology, etymology.com, it like breaks down the origins of words. So it's a great place to go and check out your phrases. So I wanted to go back to that analogy of raking the leaves and having that be just so much money, and you put them in a big bag and you got these bags of money, and you're not throwing it out into the trash, but you're taking it to your bank account, or you're going and you're spreading it around. If you think about it, leaves fall in abundance in the forest, and they create more. They create a fertile environment for more things to grow. So let's use that analogy too, as far as the exercise I talked to you about, putting away 10% of your money, even when it seems you can't afford to do it, putting away 10% and not spending it. And I avow I have spent it. I have spent it on and off over the years, and I honestly have to say, when I do have it and I allow myself to have it, I have it, and and money just flows to me even more. So I'm being much more diligent about not spending it and letting it grow and grow and grow, because there's something really magical about having money. And when you get to the point of like putting away that 10%, and like maybe a year has gone by and you've even forgotten, and it just keeps going to your savings account or wherever it is that you're putting it, under your mattress, I don't care where you put it, But you know, you'll see that, like, I think it's after you have about 10 months of rent or 10 months of your mortgage in your bank that you have this sense of relief. So why not create that for yourself, even just to experience what, you know, what would that be like? And for those of you who are already doing that, good on ya, as the Aussies say. Don't stop, because that sense of having really will expand your universe. And the other thing that I had talked to you about doing was taking $5 and dropping like $1 in different places, public places, where people can find it. And what you're doing is you're telling the universe, number one, that you have so much money that you just want to share it. And you're just leaving it for people to surprise money, like they're just like I leave it at my local market, or at any market, or even at a Home Depot, or I mean whatever. And I just put it between someplace, and I can just see someone, you know, I can just imagine someone like, oh, money, $1 or $5, or if you want to really be abundant, drop $20. You know, if you could do that, you feel like it. There's something magical about that. And I read this little book. I can't remember the name of it. I will get that name for you. And with that, you can really you're generating a conscious flow of money. I wanted to take out some money here. I have a lovely $100 bill. And I want to take a look at this money. It's just a piece of paper. Okay, and the good old Ben Franklin. We all love Ben Franklin, don't we? Money isn't always green. Here I have some Turkish money. I have a collection of money. This Turkish money with the Wizard of Oz on it. Doesn't it look like the Wizard of Oz? Turkish money, and then I've got my beautiful money, Hong Kong money. Look how lovely that is. It's got all these beautiful colors on it. And I carry this money around with me because money it's just paper, but we put so much energy into it. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I think this is Singaporean. No, this is South African. Sorry. South African. I've never been to South Africa, but I had someone give me money because I said, I have a collection of money. Singapore is also pretty cool looking. So it's everything, you know, that you've decided that this money thing is, that it's just out of your reach. What creation are you using to invoke and perpetrate money being out of your reach, or money being a game that you could never win? Are you choosing? Everything that is times a godzillion, where you destroy and uncreate it all.
Yes. Right
and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, boys, and beyonds. If you've ever played Monopoly, you know what I'm saying. I used to always look at Monopoly. And that was just paper, and this is also paper. And then people already start telling you, projecting at you, oh, you're not good with money. You don't have a business mind. You'll never be successful. I mean, so everything that you were told just from playing of Monopoly, well, whatever. I mean, what were you saying, Sylvia?
I was saying, isn't that cute? Interesting point of view, right?
Yes, absolutely. Interesting point of view that I have this point of view. For any time you have like an aha moment, you have to put it back in perspective. It's just a point of view, and points of view can be changed. Always, always. So look, it's already 5:35. I wanted to leave you guys with some more questions around money. There was something that I had saved that I had gotten from a good friend of mine. Oh yeah, here it is. I get this thing called Accessing the Greatness of You. It's a daily newsletter, or like a short blog, and he gives you some questions, and he basically talks about certain things. I will Accessing the Greatness of You. I don't know. You can look it up. You can Google it and see if you can find it. I think it costs $50 a year. It is so well worth it. It really is. It gives you questions to start your day. I'm sure he's going to publish a book soon. At any rate, this is what he wrote on one of his blogs. No matter how much or what you've bought about money, the seed works. It starts wherever you are and requires only that you water it daily with questions that call that energy to you. Could anything resist your willingness to receive if you nurtured it every day? What is required to nurture your money seed today? And everything doesn't allow that to show up. Will you destroy and create it, please?
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, puck, shorts, boys, and beyond. So, Let's give you this one. This one's going to blow your mind. If you can write this one down, rewind. Of course, the replay will be up. What energy, space, and consciousness can I be? So this is, you're going to say it for you. That would allow me to have more money than God with total ease. Would you allow yourself to have more money than God, people? Everything doesn't have that to show up. Times a godzillion. I destroyed and created all. Right, wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. So you put everything in the I form when you're doing it for yourself, because these are, you can work these for yourself. But let me ask the question for everybody, so all of us can work it together. What energy, space, and consciousness can we be that would allow us to have more money than God with total ease? Everything doesn't allow that to show up. Times a godzillion. Let's destroy and uncreate it all. Yes. Right, wrong, good and bad, all nine, poc, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Okay. So, what energy, space, and consciousness can I be to be an ever-expanding source for money for all eternity? And there's another one. There's another feather to put in your cap.
That's a nice one, yeah.
Isn't that a nice one? I'm going to say it again. What energy, space, and consciousness can you be to be an ever-expanding source for money for all eternity? Everything that doesn't allow that to show up, times God saying we destroy and uncreate it, please.
Yes.
Right and wrong, good and bad, all nine, pod, poc, shorts, boys, and beyond. Thanks for being my yes today, Sylvia. It has been wonderful. I've left you with some processes you can run. These energy, space, and consciousness processes are very powerful. I advise you to run them 30 times a day. You can record it and listen to it on your iPhone or your iPad or whatever MP3 machine that you use. How do you say it? At any rate, it has been a pleasure.
iPod?
Yes, your iPod or any MP3 player that people use, because I know people use other things too. I know I'm an Apple girl, but not everybody is. So I want to thank, first of all, Sylvia, thank you for being with me today, and I hope that you can join me every week if you'd like, because you're a wealth of information. We're going to bring some more people on as well. And we're going to, because when two or more gather in my name, I believe is the truth. So we have more energy when we work together and we talk about these things and we get, we let go of our limitations, right? Sweet.
Oh, I'd love that. Let's expand this. This is such a gift.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
So next week, chapter 3.
When we get together.
Yes, absolutely. Next week, Chapter 3 of Money Isn't the Problem You Are. If you'd like to buy this book, you can buy it on accessconsciousness.com. I do not get money for this. I do this because I believe in expanding the consciousness of prosperity, abundance, and wealth for all. And there's no reason why all of us cannot have that point of view as our life. So I end this with the money dance, and I will see you all next week. If you want to get up and do your money dance, as the Indians did it for rain, we're doing it for money. All right, everybody, do the money dance, money dance, because when you get money, you know you want to get up and dance. So Sylvia did the money dance too. Do your money dance, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next week. Have a wonderful, prosperous, money-filled week, and it's not even really money. It's the energy of prosperity. So, ciao for now. How does it get any better than this?
Thank you.
Thank you.